youth. How many of you in this room are bugging? That's okay. You can all put your hand up. It's okay. At one point or another, you feel pretty buggered. I'm not talking about I'm exhausted from playing basketball all weekend, as you can tell. You know, so three mocking me right here. One from the back. Thanks very much.
Love you.
So yeah, nice, half a heart for you, mate. So the challenge is that at different times in our life, we might need somebody to assist us. And often there's this stigma around counselling as if like you're broken and something wrong with you, you need a counsellor. Yeah, you know what? It takes great courage to admit that. It takes great courage to admit that there's something not right. I need to go and seek some professional help. And I've done that in my lifetime, in 50 years. I've done that a couple of times because sometimes I go, maybe this noggin isn't thinking straight. You know, maybe my emotions are kind of getting a bit skewy, you know, and I need to get it sorted. So we thought about this series, been thinking about this series for a couple of months, even on the back of our last one, and I thought we need to help our guys with a point of saying that in their self-worth, in their significance, and in their sort of self-esteem, that I have the tools and the people around me to make a difference. And so how many of you have a signature? I'm not talking about a tag. I'm talking about a signature. You have a shocking one, do you? Yeah? How many of you have a signature? Yeah, you have to sign something, back of your EFTPOS card, something like that. Yeah, you got a signature. How many of you just so dig your signature, you think, oh man, I've got the raddest signature ever. Yeah, one of my sons has this signature that sort of starts, so my name is Phil Stenhouse, and so when Daniel Stenhouse, when he writes his name, there's no Stenhouse in that. I don't even know how he can repeat that same scribble, because it's kind of like all on top of one another. It's kind of like duh, and then Stenhouse is just kind of written all on top of one another, and I'm going, that's like, you know, it's sort of like, that's his signature. Now Josh is a little bit more creative. He has this kind of cool one that sort of has angles on it like he was doing a tag, like a graph. I won't show you what it is because you might see it out. No, you won't. No, but the challenge is for each of us, we have a signature, right? And what is the signature used for?
Identifying what's yours.
Identifying what's yours. Does anybody else have the same signature as you? Pardon?
Different handwriting.
Possibly. How would they have the same signature as you?
Mine's really original, so if someone was J. Jefferson now, I guess they might have the exact same one as me.
Yeah, but even if you had the same surname, would they sign it the same way?
Maybe.
I met a guy 20 years ago who was a forensic scientist for signature, for handwriting. I said, you woke up one day and just said, I know what I'm going to do. Study handwriting, you know. So I don't want people in my life. I just, look at the curve of the A, you know. Oh, the sexy S, you know. He kind of said, oh, that L is hanging, you know. So the thing is for me, as I met with him, he had all this, and in his house, he had this most phenomenal equipment, and he would actually be brought in by the court, by the magistrate, to actually identify signatures and documents for fraud. And I go, pocket! And I said, how much do you get for going to court? And he goes, 30,000. I said, so what? He goes, yeah. My fee is 30 grand every time I make an appearance. I said, how many times are you appearing? He says, well, in one trial, I could probably appear 15 or 20 times. I went, ka-ching! And he goes, yeah. His name was Gary. Gary the forensic scientist. So, good old Gaz. I love Gaz, you know. And here's the thing. Sometimes, you know, you talk about that identity theft and fraud and all that sort of stuff, but, you know, around the world, and even in Australia, there are people who are trying to forge your signature. There are people out there on a mission to get your bank card or something with your signature on it to see if they can take part of your life away. I think that's fascinating. But you've got to remember this one thing. They are a fraud, right? They're not real. They're counterfeit. You are the only person with an original signature. So when you sign your name, that's the original copy right there. Everything else is just an imitation. And there are people that you will bump into in your life that will try and copy you as a person. but they're a counterfeit person. And I know right through my life, I have been around people that I thought, oh, this is really cool. This person's so awesome. They're so popular. If I spoke like them, acted like them, dressed like them, went to the same places as them, I would be cool too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some of the things that they say and do. You ever done that? Hang out with someone long enough, you pick up their phrases. I'm not talking about getting too funny on it and go, oh, that's what I say, stop, you're stealing my stuff. Because, you might say feels, for example, if someone says, you got feels or whatever, you get it? So everybody says that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this, feels. You feeling, baby? And, want me to come closer? So the challenge for us, it's an upfront thing, thanks, nobody else is involved. The challenge for us is you could go right through your life copying everybody else, and then you get to this point where you try to figure out who you are as a person and you have no freaking clue. You have no clue because you've been so busy, taking a piece of everybody else, you haven't taken the time to actually think about you, and you become a counterfeit. You become the copy of something that's not even original. But here's the thing I want to tell you tonight, ladies. Here's the thing I want to tell you tonight is that you are an original and you're meant to be an original. So, everybody hold your hand up to me like this. Alright? Now, and now I want you to do this.
Spirit fingers.
Now, to pick up the other hand and do the same thing. I just wanted to see that. That just looks so cool from up here. Spirit fingers! Alright, give me a no. No, so the challenge is, it took me back to my cheerleading days. But anyway, oh, you didn't know. I was baked, baby. So, whatever. Then plenty of chicks that way. But anyway, so the challenge is, right? Now they don't know, Rory, they don't know either way. Yeah. So, I know how to do A. Anyway, so back to it. Here's the thing, right on the end of your hand is you have a set of fingerprints, unless you filed them off because of criminal reasons, Susan, thanks. But the challenge is that your fingerprints identify you as the original person. So if you go somewhere, if you do something naughty, or even when you just you get your fingerprint for your phone, access to your phone, there's now fingerprint entry cars. You just put your boop, and then you go to your car because you've got the same. So that's the bit, guys, as I'm trying to get to, is that there are so many things that are just you. Even on the end of these little things, these spirit fingers, is a little pattern that identifies you for you. You don't have to be a counterfeit. You don't have to try and put somebody else's fingerprint on your body or in your heart or in your mind to be something else. You are an original. The difficulty is we never take the time to actually study ourselves and realise maybe we are an original, and what would that even look like. Over these next 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to help you be you. Help you be the original signature that you were intended to be. I have met people that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and they still struggle with who they are and never figured out their identity, and they live with regret because they never took the time to do it. So, to start this series, I thought it was important to know that how many people in this room at one time or another are needy people. Both my hands and my legs are up, right? Here. We need, right? And I'm not talking about just need food, but we need stuff in our life to make us feel okay.
Attention.
Attention could be, that whole ADD comes out of that, attention deficit disorder. I just think it's someone saying, love me, pick me, because they were maybe not, So the challenge for us is this. At Bridge Builders, we have 10 values, I guess, and the top 4 of those, LVAB, L-V-A-B, stands for what? Right, so all of those that just said blah, 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 say it together. What's the first one? Love. Next one? That, if you're a new person to Bridge Builders, you've never heard us talk about that. So we used to have this on the wall here until we painted over at Christmas time. But this was written on the wall here, and if we stay here, we'll probably write it back up again in like a Scrabble formation up here. But the idea is love, value, acceptance and belonging is what Bridge Builders was founded on 16 years ago. you know, and if you've never heard this message, I think it's important for you to hear it right at the start of this series, that every single one of us need love, need value, need acceptance, and need belonging. And if you don't think you do, you're fibbing to yourself. You're actually being a counterfeit. You know, you're being that person that's saying, no, I don't really need that, I've got this. There'll come a time when you ain't got this, you know, and you'll need people at that point in your life. Now, the opposite is also true. We can get so stuck over here that all we do is live in need. We just live needy all the time, rather than saying, is there a place where I recognise I'm needy, and I'm needy all the time, and is there a healthy place that I can actually walk that path? And yes, there is. And over the next 8 weeks, we're going to give you the tools to practice. Would that be cool? Yeah, so we don't have to keep spinning, you know, we don't have to keep spinning on the spot or going to bed and things run through our mind, you know, or think that somebody says something to us or something happens to us and we don't get invited to that thing, and, you know, all of a sudden we go, oh, and we spiral out of control. If that's the way you do it, then there's some things for you. So the first one I want to talk to you about is love. Now, in my world, you can go on Google and you can type in, what is love? You know, and the musos will tell you, and the poets will tell you, and everybody else will tell you. Somebody will tell you something. There's 8 things, 7, 4, 5, 3, 9, whatever it is. I don't really care. There's 5 love languages. If you don't know your love language, just go in and type in 5 love languages, and it's not tongue and touch and all that sort of stuff. It's 5 different types of love language. But the 4 types of love I want to talk to you about tonight are simply this. And every one of us in this room need these 4 types. All right? So the first one is, these are all Greek words. The first one is called eros. Right? What do you reckon eros is?
Loving the ears.
Hey? Loving the ears? No. Eros. Think of erotic, right? So the root word, so to speak, eros. Yeah, we can be filthy, whatever. We're talking sex, baby. You know, so we're talking about turned on, turned up, turned off, whatever it is. You're hard, you're soft, you're wet, you're whatever. We're talking about eros. We're talking about what? Yeah, is it raining outside? Yeah, it's a nice one, Puritan. So sort that guy out with. So the challenge is, right, to eros. Eros is about erotic. It's about pleasure, love. Who doesn't want that? Now, hang on, don't answer that. I don't want to know. So I have bumped into, in the past couple of years, people who would call themselves a person who does not require that, right? I think, man, I'm digging it. Why would you not want a bit? Anyway, so the challenge for me, that's their decision, and that's totally cool. I respect that. So that's eros, right? Another one is called storge, or storge, if you want to storge love, right? If you're English, it's storge, isn't it? You know, and that's that kind of love that I might have for Rory. No, you just went past eros, right? So we're going a whole nother level now, baby. So that's a friendship love, right? So when you go up to someone, you say, "Oh, so storge, you dog," you know. So that's like saying, "I love you, man," in Greek. How about that? Probably don't say it like that in Greek if you are Greek, you know, probably whatever. So there's another one that's called philia or philia love, and that's that kind of love that's like your grandmother love. It's like your grandmother love. Do you love your grandmother? Yeah. You like to kiss your grandmother? Only after she's shaved. So the challenge is, you know, I get it, you know. So between the philia love, which is that kind of love, and that storge love, which is like a parent. How about that? That's the easiest way to do it. Storge is like that love for a parent to a child. You know, it's not inappropriate. It's just pure. It's just lovely. This is what I'm going to do. And that sort of, the philia, Philia, is that love between friends. Right? So plenty of you have that here. Now, there's another one that I love, which is the agape love. Agape or agape, you know, is agape love is often used in a church context as about like a supreme being, you know, faith love. It's unconditional. Now I know, as a parent, I have unconditional love for my sons. Absolutely, there's nothing in this world they could ever do that would destroy the love I have for them. I don't like them from time to time, you know, because of decisions they make, and I'm sure they don't like me from time to time, but love it goes beyond how I feel, it goes beyond circumstance and what I get out of this relationship. So that's that kind of love. Partners can have that love, that agape love, which is unconditional. Imagine having that kind of relationship with someone, that there's no expectations, conditions or anything put on you in that kind of love. That would be pretty rad, wouldn't it? So there's the kind of 4 loves. So at Bridge Builders, when we talk about love, those kind of 4, except maybe, well, you know, we say Eros love doesn't exist in Bridge Builders, but there have been plenty of young people over the years that have hooked up at Bridge Builders, and some have gone, that's okay, you're young people, I'll figure it out, you know. So, and some of you have, some of our guys over the years have maybe made an unwise decision around who they chose, you know, and so they break up, and the 2 of them never come back to BB. I can't go back there, that's where he goes. Oh, I can't go back there, that's where she goes, you know, and they realise that neither of them go. So not a very cool thing. We have got other couples, of course, that have got together, and have gone on and got married and had children. We've got plenty of those guys through our Bridge Builders that have done that. So it's a good place to find that love. All right, the second one we have is value. So I looked up the meaning of this, and I just so dig the dictionary sometimes of the way I think, what I think value means, and then it comes up with this. Importance, beneficial, admire, and esteem. How cool is that you come to Bridge Builders and one of our values is that we're just going to admire you. Look at the person next to you. Just straighten the eyes. Look at the person next to you. Don't be frightened, because we admire you. Look at the guy. Come on. You looking at me, baby? You know? And you look at that person and you say with the most, I saw that wink, and you look at that most loving eyes and say, I admire you. There you go with that. Now you at home do the same, right? Look at one another and go, I admire you, baby. You know, there you go. Now I'm going to take you to So here's the thing. Now, I'm going to take it to a whole nother level. I want you to look at the person again, another person this time, loving eyes, and say, oh man, I esteem you. Just say, I esteem you. I esteem you, baby. All right? All right, so the challenge around that. All right, I'm bringing it back. I've got no timekeeper, so you better keep time for me, Rory. You know, where are we at? Oh, good, great. Okay, so value is about importance, right? It's about this thing is of value to me, and we have things in our life, you know, whether it's a material possession, a car, a trinket, a necklace, something that is important to us, and we value that. And when someone starts to devalue that, we've got something to say, you know, about that. So really important. Now the third one, of course, is acceptance. Now again, I went to the dictionary because every now and again I like to make sure that I've got the meaning right of what I think it is, and then the dictionary just has some rad explanations. So here's one. Acceptance is about approval. So remember, these are the 4 fundamental values of Bridge Builders. Love, value, acceptance, and belonging. We've spoken about this for 16 years. Approval. That means we approve of you. When you go through membership and you get a tag and a t-shirt and stuff like that, and if you're proud to be a BB, I encourage you to wear it every week. You know, that's approval. It's like, yeah, man, I fit, dude. You know, I've got the approval. There's one there that says, one of the explanations there says you're embraced. Acceptance. So we're going to do air embracing, so no real embracing. So I want you to do this. Reach out to the person next to you, just like that, and just do an air embrace. No touching! Just an air of faking! Hey? Now, here's the thing. Yeah, Bluetooth hug. Does that feel weird? Yes. So at Bridge Builders, we give this thing called sugar. We love to hug. Now, we get told off, and people on air, you'll know the same. Over 16 years, Bridge Builders has been criticised so much for hugging. You know what? Because the reality for me is that we as humans need contact. Now, I'm not talking about inappropriate. Now, over the years, there have been guys and gals who kind of did that hug. Hug. You know that one? Are you going to go, oh, that's a little creepy, you know? All my bits were touching, you know? So the thing is, we want to make sure that if you're hugging someone here at Bridge Builders, that gives you that sense of, because sometimes, I don't know about you, you might have one of those days and a hug just makes it work. You know, you just have one of those days you think, all right, and somebody says to you, how you doing? You go, hug. Can I just have a hug, man? You know, and you just want one of those beautiful, loving, fully non-sexual kind of hug that just sort of says, you know what, it's okay, you're safe. You're safe here. I love it here. Our entire team hug all the time. It's funny when I go into business environments, it's difficult. You know, like even this morning, I was at one this morning, and I met James, and I saw James. I said, "Bro, how are you?" And reached in, and he sort of came at me with his hand like that. If he's watching, good. He sort of came at me with a hand, and I said, "Yeah, gosh, in for the hug." You know, right in that business setting, I went, "Oh, that's good." Now the guy behind him, you know, don't know so well, know him. He goes, you can see him standing going, like, do I get one of them? You know? And I said, come on, give you one of those. He goes, oh, get a hug. See how needy we are?
Do you ever shake hands with anyone?
Yeah.
Really?
It's pretty weird. It feels pretty weird because it feels pretty neutral, you know. It feels like, hey, dude. I shake hands the first time I meet you at Bridge Builders. You'll notice, especially the gals. If I meet you for the first time, I'll shake your hand. Right? Maybe by the end of the night, I'll hug you. I did that to you, and that's purely because I want you to know I'm not creeping on you, and it's cool. It's good to have you here. I want to shake your hand, so I want to let you know you're a part of our family right now. So it's really cool. All right, embrace. Here was a cool word about acceptance. I love this. It's the word adoption. Oh, yeah, and all the girls go, oh, you know. So, you know, we know that some of us have been adopted. Some of us know people who have been adopted. And that whole idea is that somebody was out here somewhere, wandering, maybe not knowing where they're going, and somebody said, you know what, come on in here. And that's Bridge Builders right here. How cool is that? Where you just say, come on, with all of your stuff, we're going to adopt you into our family, and we're going to say it's all good here. We're going to work on that. We're going to get to know you. We're going to hug you through it. And we're going to punch you in the face. No, not. You know, but sometimes tough love. That's a different love. Anyway, so that's size one. And then the last one, of course, was belonging. Now, the thing I love about belonging is every single one of us in this room want to belong somewhere. Now, I'm not talking about belong to someone, right? The difficulty with that is when you get, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I had a girlfriend, and if anybody spoke to that girlfriend, any other guy spoke to that girlfriend, it was, you know, because she was mine. I don't know whatever made her mine. She didn't sign anything over. I didn't do a blood, you know, kind of finger thing, you know, whatever. I don't even know. But I was scared of blood. But, you know, so that couldn't happen. But somehow, when I asked the girl to go steady with me, you know, that was kind of cute, you know, to start. I almost vomited when I did that. But the reality was she was now mine. And so I would do certain behaviours if she would talk to another bloke or I didn't have text back then, probably send a letter, or pay someone else attention and not me. I would get huffy and moody and go, and she'd say, what's wrong? What's my response, boys?
Nothing.
Champion men say that, you know, nothing. Eh? Those of us that have learned to get in contact with our emotions say, I was feeling a little rejected and not loved too much. No, you don't say that at all. But so there was this sense of belonging which talked about ownership. And it doesn't mean that somebody else owns you. It means that you buy in to what's happening wherever you are. If you're a cricket player or a basketballer or soccer player or whatever, you know, or if you're in some club somewhere and you buy into that club, you become part of it. You wear the shirt or if you're a footy thing, you know, you put that Guernsey thing on, that one, yeah, you know, and all of a sudden people recognise you as a Hawthorn player. I don't even know, but whatever. So you become, there's this ownership and you're proud. So when our team goes out on site, so when our team goes out on site onto an event and we're all wearing a Bridge Builders shirt, people notice that ownership. They go, "Wow!" I remember at Edge Martial Arts when I was doing Aido there, we'd walk in our gi, and we had this special outfit with our swords and stuff. There was this sense of when you all got in that room and you all got your swords and you all look amazingly tough, there was just this sense of like, "Whoa." There was that power that you're all together, all the same. And that's why sometimes we ask you to wear your Beach Builder shirt, even to Monday night, because you're part of something. You don't have to try and figure it out. You just be part of something and just turn up. So, the other thing about belonging is it talks about security. I mentioned that before, you're in a safe place. So, there are signs around Bridge Builders, either in the main office or just out the side there, that says that Bridge Builders has zero tolerance to violence. The only person that's allowed to be violent is me. And the reason for that, and I know that sounds weird, but my role, my job, my calling is to protect you. So if anybody comes in here to take you out, they've got to get through me.
Oh, punch him.
And I'm okay about a punch on. Those that have been around me for a long time will realise that has happened on a couple of occasions here. And that person is no longer here and I am still standing. It's okay. You need to know that this is a safe place, that our entire leadership team will keep you safe. That's part of the reason why we don't allow parents here on a long-term process. We want your parents to be involved. We've got an open policy, it's an open door policy to come in and see what's going on because you're their kids, right? But at the end of the day, this is about a safe place for you. So for some of our young people over 16 years, it's been a refuge. It's been a refuge for people. Where they felt like this is the only safe place that they have in their world. Part of that I hate, and the other part of that I love, because it says that our nest here is welcoming and warm. We've got all the feathers in here. There's no sticks here. It's all good. So the other one that said here, the meaning of belonging was inclusion. We include all. Often we are on events and people go, "Your guys are so diverse." I noticed that at the girls' retreat, just the different leaders who were at the girls' retreat and all the different kinds of personalities that were there, and it's just so diverse and so powerful in that they were all with a common cause to deliver a product or a thing, a 4-day experience for young women to change their lives, and they were all like, "Yeah, this is where we're going and what we're doing." I love that. Boys, something's coming for you in the new years. And then another part of belonging was identity. So I talked there before about your Bridge Builder shirt. If you wear a Bridge Builder shirt, hoodie out in the street, people will identify you as a Bridge Builder. They might not even remember your name, but you'll get discounts in shops and stuff like that because you're a Bridge Builder.
Like good shops.
How cool is that? I'm not telling you. Because you're not wearing your shirt, bro. So it's only for the shirt wearers. Sorry. So there's that sense of identity, that you belong to something, and that's why if you put your name down for an event, you follow that up. You follow through because the team's, depending on you to be there. You've got that sense of inclusion and identity. You're part of the crew. You watch Pirates of the Caribbean, part of the crew, part of the ship. That's what they talk about in that whole idea, is that you're part of the crew, you're part of the ship. Every single person is important, and that when you're not here, you're missed. And sometimes we miss missing you, and we chase you down and we say, "Come on, come back." Yeah, nah, it's not my thing, Okay, what is? Yeah, nothing. I'm feeling like just laying here on my bed, staring at the light bulb that's glowing in the ceiling.
Did you do that here?
You can do that here. Yeah? So here's the thing, guys. Right from the outset, I want you to know that this series of I have a good self-esteem. I have a significant place to be. I am significant in my life. I am that person, or I have that kind of self-worth that nobody can erode. There are people in your life that will try and break you down and keep you in a place that makes them feel good. Right? All you got to do is you say, "You know what? I have self-esteem, self-worth and significance. It doesn't matter what you say about me or to me. I know who I am." And we will, if over these next weeks, if we could practice that, build that into your young lives, it will serve you well. It'll be a strong pillar that will never break, no matter what pressure's put on it. It'll be just strong right through your life. Because I know that there are broken bits within each of us at times, and we need the other pillars to help shore us up. That's why when you go into your packs tonight and over the next few weeks, take a risk to not be distracting one another, but to be really encouraging one another. Show love, show value, show acceptance, and show belonging. They're our 4 fundamental values of bridge builders. All the others are important, the other 6 are important. But if we don't get those 4 right, if somebody comes here and says they didn't feel love, now you do have a decision to make too. Because you could just come here and everybody could just love on you and it'd still not be enough. You ever met people like that? It doesn't matter. Their cup has just got a big hole right in the bottom of it and it never fills up. We have to make a decision that when people come here and they show us love, that they actually do mean it. And we've got to start to, boys and girl, and we've just got to start to move forward in that. So I'm going to ask Becca to come up because she's going to talk to you about packs and where we're going. So guys, self-worth, self-esteem and significance you all have. And we're going to give you the tools over the next 6 or 8 weeks going to help you do that. So remember, what's the acronym? LVAB. Everyone say LVAB.
LVAB.
Love, value, acceptance, belonging.